This weather's perfect for me to explain that deciding to make this forest has been a pain. But also look how beautiful this is. Look how many frames I'm getting. You know what's killing the frames? This is killing the frames. Look at this. Look at the top corner. You see 159? I go down here. What happened? I don't know what's with these mods, but sometimes they just decide, we want to take everything. It doesn't even look that bad. That's kind of the goal with the main park. I know we haven't been in the main park for plenty of episodes now, but your boy has been stuck out in the forest because I was supposed to be doing stuff. But I have been. As you can see, we started to do the outline this way. As well as look at all these leaves. Your boy's been grinding. Also, we will run back over here. From the HUD booking. As you see, I've added this. I've also added a trash chute. This is how much stuff we've been harvest. I've stopped harvesting everything else for the time being because we don't need that stuff for right now. We need spruce. And that is why we have this. Now everything is grown up, as in like the trees have grown, because I have stopped it, because if it's going, it is extra laggy. I also thought that, you know, placing the buttons, placing the button downs would help. It definitely did not help. It might have helped a little bit. I've also replaced rich soil because we had some rich soil while I was doing this, while I was waiting. And sometimes it gets replaced by podzol or grass. I don't know why, but it does. But it does definitely help. It has definitely kicked everything to high gear. We need at least 2K. 2K. We need at least 2K spruce for at least a 12 section. So this whole thing right here, this whole section right here takes 2,000 leaves. So this may seem like a lot, but technically this is only, if we do the math real quick, 4 big patches of trees. So this is where we left off. This goal here, as I've already mentioned plenty of times, is the tree outline. Eventually I will be building a custom bank, so it'll be a bunch of rocks. Once all the trees are in, so it'll be from this part all the way over here-ish. This will be our custom forest. I will go in on my own, do some podzol and some coarse dirt. I'm going to make a custom recipe for podzol, just like I've done with the glowberry stuff. You know, stuff like that. And eventually I'll make the old path. This is all of it will be recorded, but it will be like in its own little separate video. It might be like a 0.5 video. I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so just like I did this outline, this will just be the little path that we'll do. It probably will be changed a little bit, so it coasts a little bit more on this side, so this has more side to breathe. But this is the little path that we have. This is simply here mainly just because eventually we will be connecting to this village. Will I upgrade this village? I don't know. I think everyone in here is dead. But technically I can't upgrade this part of that village. We're going to have it where it coasts this way, and then we have stuff over here. That mountain we can't see at the moment. Actually, how high can I go? We'll go 10. Oh, shadows is stuck there. Whoa, that looks so cool. Well, we still can't see the mountain, but technically we can coast it this way and go on here. We're still having issues with this water. I still don't know how I'm going to plan this out. The issue is that we are too high off the ground and the pond is literally down there. So technically I could raise the water level, but then I would have to coast everything out. There's a lot of projects I have, and they're all very big and ambitious. I have to fill this up with water. I have to clear all this out. There's still this giant mountain that we have to worry about. Am I going to carve this whole mountain down and have it flat? But then I have too much flat. Then we don't have any terrain. But look how beautiful this looks. I know I keep mentioning that. But what am I talking about when it regards to path? We have this, but we'll have an offshoot. And we need to make sure I press this. Oh, wrong button. There we go. So you can't see the outline because we're in shaders, but I don't want to turn off the shaders. So this will be the path. A new path that we have started. This will coast all the way over here. Pretty much curve around this way. And we'll have it like this. And because I want to add a little bit of lore. Because this is basically my forever world. Kinda. Unless something bad happens. Or I decide to do a season 2. But after playing hardcore Minecraft, as you saw in my last video, technically, we really don't need to do season 2 because money. I don't know why that's not filling. Please. We don't need to do season 2 because the distance to right and shaders tanks a lot in my performance. So, but this is pretty much the gist of it. We'll probably have a path here that leads over here and leads through this way. So I'll just keep that going. But this looks so beautiful. I know this is taking forever to do, but this looks amazing. And I hope everyone else appreciates it as well. I know it's like, dang, bro, we've been on this freaking trees for like half the day episodes, bro. I don't think anyone's probably saying that, but, you know, you came here for dinosaurs, not, trees. But this is to show off, you know, the effort that I am going through to make this park. You know, not everything's sunshine and rainbows. We have this. I kind of want it to curve a little bit more, so we might delete these real quick. I want it more curved. Hello, Mr. Fly. Are you actually Mr. Fly? Eventually we'll find Mr. Fly. I'm pretty sure he's dead. I don't know where Mr. Fly went. I forgot how these guys die. They might actually have a birth date. Like how real flies work. Where like they die after a certain time frame. How's it look over here? Curve. We need to curve this a little bit more. This is a little bit too aggressive. How's it looking now? Looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit better. And we'll start curving this way. Back this way. Wink. There we go. There we go. But like I said, when it comes to the lore in this world, there's not really a lot of lore that we can add. We're a dinosaur park. What do you expect? This one's a little bit too far off. We'll have it right here. Oop, that might be a little bit too sharp. Too sharp. Too not sharp. Whoop. Oh, this is too far. There we go. And what do I mean by lore? I know technically everyone does lore in their own Minecraft world. But like I said, this is our forever world. And, I mean, I can't really LARP. And, like, in my head canon believe that this is all legit. But it is good to have a little bit of some fancy story. See, this is what I was talking about. Where, like, it just builds the thing. I have to go through and change everything. Hello, Miss Pig. So, what I mean by lore is, you know, adding some cool information with this forest specifically. Eventually, we can do some other stuff in the world and be like, well, how did the dinosaurs get here? How did we solve the science on figuring out how to make dinosaurs? Well, simple. Dr. Larry had converged everything to a point and solve the genome sequence. But there was also some evildoers at work. What do I mean by evildoers? Well, in this forest, I'm going to make a random cult circle. I apologize for the religious folk. But the reason why I want to do that is because I think it'd be pretty cool. Obviously, cults aren't cool. Don't join cults. Those are bad for you. But for the horror aspect and adding lore to this world, I think it'd be a really nice idea. And this is also kind of based off a few things. One, I was watching a guy play a horror game. And while I was going ham on getting the resources, so half of me wants to incorporate that stuff because I like horror and I like dinosaurs. And would I be in my horror games as in like monster horror or like I don't know, like eldritch horror? I don't know. I'm not like some guy's being murdered. It's more of a, like, I don't know, some like, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like you get the gist. Whoa, look at that sun. Oh, just got casted by the shadows. But there's going to be a cult circle here. So eventually in one of the further ones, when I decide to do something different, I'll do like a crop circle for some UFOs. I won't be doing any tall flying objects. I think that ruins the game a little bit because it doesn't look nice. As in, like, how is that floating? I could do an island, like a floating island. Those hit a little bit better because we definitely have floating islands. There's some over here, like these are floating islands. These make a little bit more sense, I guess, to me, because they're in the clouds. But also they kind of look weird. So, like, I don't know, I don't like anything standing still while the clouds are moving. But I digress. Oh, we zoomed out all the way. Also, I'm so glad I changed this map. Look how much map we have. I'm probably cutting all this out. Either way. Dang, bro, this forest is about to be as big as the park. That's crazy. Anywho. So, this is the path that we got. I'm probably going to have this curve out a little bit more. And curve a little bit better this way. I'll fix it up on my own time. But I will start the path. All this is stuff a long time. I just want to update you on that. But we will be building a moose enclosure. I think we're going to do it over here because I kind of like this angle. So we need to do the trees around this part, and then eventually we can start the enclosure. So I'll get back to that when I get the chance. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I explain this later on, but this has taken about maybe a week. Now, what I mean by a week, I mean, like, actually it's been like 3 solid days, but divided into a week. Doing this custom forest is a hassle. Now, we have 2 questions here. Why did you want to build this forest? And why did you do this all just to hide the lumber mill? Well, I've already explained to you, you silly Billy, that I am going to do an enclosure here, as well as I just wanted to do it because it looks cool, and to add a little bit of lore into the world. So me deciding to build this forest also helps me get used to actually doing custom trees in a custom forest, because eventually when we start doing the really big enclosure for some of these creatures, they're not just going to have a little square space. What am I, Jurassic World? I care for my creatures. You know, I'm actually going to do the dimensions of what does a T-Rex actually need to thrive. So this is literally a bunch of recordings all timed in speed time. Why am I saying it like that? It's all sped up of me doing everything. Now, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm just going to mention it here again. I made a custom recipe for course do it. I don't know why I say it like that. Podzol and spruce leaves. So thus it allows me to speed up the process of everything that we've done here. I've thought about it for a while. I realized that I used the building wand a lot, but in this situation, technically I am building a forest, so technically it would fit in this aspect of the building wand. But that's me realizing that I broke my netherite shovel on accident. Either way, the building wand here is the Lord and Savior of this forest build, because in order to add, like, you know, variety into the ground and the foliage and all that stuff like that, all you would need to do is copy a square space of Podzol or course do it. I don't even know why I keep saying it like that. And you get like random sparses, because all you would have to do is just randomly go around and right click. So eventually I start off with the little small squares and I get bigger squares because it looks a little bit weird. So, but it's literally all I've been doing for the past, I think, 10 hours. Actually, am I overselling it? I think it's been 6 hours. So this is me occasionally going through, just looking at it. When you see at the very end of all the recording of everything, it looks amazing. And spoiler alert, we're not even done. But I won't trivia you guys on the rest of that in my own time. I'll get it all done and over with, and so we can actually move on to another project, because I still want to complete my projects before getting onto a new project. So as of right now, this was the lumber mill thing, going eventually on to the enclosure for the moose, as well as the cultist circle. So, but like I said, I was going to record every part of this process. Obviously I didn't record everything, because if that was the case, we would have 6 hours of footage, and I can't put 6 hours of 10 times speed footage into this thing. But as you can see, this is literally me going ham here. I have to find out what words I need to fill in. At this point, this is where I realized, oh, I can actually do the copy and paste of the path blocks. So that's what I ended up doing, and deciding to destroy all the path. So this is what I was talking about. You just the copy, and then you just start going ham. For some reason it wasn't working initially. I forgot why it wasn't working. I don't really remember what I did to fix it, but it ended up started working. So this is what I've been doing. And so eventually I'm making it a little bit wider, and that's just how we get the texture of the path that we have here. I decided to go with stone, cobblestone, and tough, mainly just because everything has already been coarse dirt. I don't know why I keep stuttering. Coarse dirt. It's not that hard to say. And I will also, before the end of this video, put leaves next to the path, put you know, fences near the path, and actually put lighting on the path, just to have everything going. I also ended up just sticking with the two schematic cannons, because we were pretty much at the end-ish area of everything. The 12 tree schematic actually did a lot for us, so we didn't really have to worry about covering a lot of spanning area. So you just put a grid of the 12 trees and then go in with the 4, and then if you want to do specific location, you would go in with the 1. So I think at this point I'm going to speed it up times 50 so we can get to the actual point the rest of this video. When I tell you that I never, ever, ever, ever want to place trees down, want to plant dirt down, want to plant bone meal down, I'd be a liar, because eventually we'll have to do that for other enclosures when they get big enough, because we're going to do realistic enclosures for the big carnivores and the big herbivores. But look, we did it. I say we as in me. This took, I kid you not, 6 hours. This took 6 hours, people. 6. But we're not even done. We're not even done. I don't want to spoil it. We're just going to walk through. It might be a little bit laggy because we have the shaders on and it's raining. Alright, we are in the 5 chunk range. But I'll turn off the HUD. This, I mean, to be honest with you, mwah, looks amazing. We're still missing some areas. So, but I'll go in through my own time and bone meal all that up. But we haven't even finished this part. That will coast on this coast. So we haven't even done this path. I don't know why it's raining, but as you can see, the forest is pretty much done. Random pumpkins are randomly skirted around, mainly just because they were there when we were doing the terraforming. But this place looks amazing. I wish the game would lock in, but there's some places, as I've already mentioned, that are missing trees and bone meal, but I can be too lazy to do it right now. I've been doing this for 6 hours, I kid you not. So, and we're running low on leaves. Luckily, I'll explain a few things as well. Close all this up. Added a few more recipes to the arsenal, just to make everything a little bit more simpler for me, and the fact that I didn't want to have 5 more episodes of just me doing trees. So, as you saw in the little time lapse, I might do a voiceover explaining all of it, so I really don't know, but I'll do this part just in case. So we've added a few custom recipes, as you can see me going through here. Actually, I'll explain the path. The path going all the way over here, as it loops around through the front. This is the second path option. This will lead into the actual doohickey over there. I do need to add a custom candle over here. Make sure none of these nerds spawn. Boop. So I might go in and start adding lanterns to this forest, but I'll think about it. So it sounds like a lot of work. But this pretty much loops around here. I need to add more pod soul, and then add some type of either small trees so it blends in a little bit better with the flower field, and then more trees here. So you may have seen it. We have the 4 times tree, the 12 times tree, and then the single tree. So the single tree has been having it to where it breaks up everything. But if you were to keep going this way, actually we'll just sprint. Get the lag out the way. We need to put more over here. The path loops around, and then we end up at the same spot we started at. And the moment of truth, if we were to press M, ta-da! It kind of looks like Isla Sorna, which is unintentional. But this looks amazing. This is literally bigger than the park. And this took 2 episodes to do. And it's probably very boring to watch. But this is needed, because we're doing an enclosure over here. Now, initially, this is going to be the moose enclosure. But something else is going to go here. Something similar. You may have already put 2 and 2 together. But we're going to be putting Megaloceros over here with the mooses. So they kind of blend in and have everything looking a little bit more fancy. Hello, Mr. Fly. Die. So the Megaloceros is going to be over here. This is why this is all open. I haven't done anything over here yet because I don't know what kind of design I want to do. I kind of want to have an open enclosure. So I think what I'm going to do is push this down a little bit so it kind of like caves in. And so like a little rocky output goes down, and add like a glass railing on this side right here, so it looks a little bit more organic and it looks a little bit better. Obviously the moose will go in here. Depending on how I look, how it looks, I'll either divide it up between the moose and the Megaloceros, and so forth. So, but this looks amazing. Now you're probably wondering what this is, and I will show that as well once we start building off in this enclosure, because it will be kind of connected. So, but in my own spare time and randomly through the videos going on forward, I will complete the forest and do what I need to do over here. Probably going to turn all this into coarse dirt until up to get to this part, so it can connect to the forest, and then I'll add custom giant rocks. All the boring stuff I don't really want to show on screen. So, this took forever. Now, going over a few things. One, we made a custom recipe for the spruce leaves. Your boy got tired of waiting for the leaves, so your boy did a custom recipe for spruce leaves. I think it's valid. Second, podzol. I said I was going to do it. We have dirt, the grass will turn into podzol, and the cutting stone, as well as coarse dirt. And if we were to go to coarse dirt, we could do that with grass block and dirt as well. Technically, that's kind of cheating, because you need gravel. But your boy ain't got time for that, alright? Your boy has a life, and my days are limited. So, and this is my world, I can do whatever I want. We also added a custom recipe for slime. It's probably not needed because I'm going to either make a cream, magma cream farm, or an actual slime farm. But temporarily, I just wanted to have one just in case. So, as well as, I don't know why the apple pie is here. We have a moss block crafting recipe. It's simply just a carpet. It's a 4-way thing. Technically, I probably should have done it to where it's 3 to make 2. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So that's what we had here, and that's how it sped up the whole process. And hopefully it stops that whole lag there, because the tree farm definitely causes lag. But, yeah, this is what it looks like so far. I don't know how far in the video this is in. This might be a 45-minute long video, because I do want to add the Megaloceros enclosure. So today is technically Thursday, but it's 6 in the morning for me. That's what took 6 hours. I've been doing this since like 10 p.m. yesterday. So it's probably been more than 6 hours. So your boy's been just watching Minecraft videos and grinding this all the way. So I'm going to go edit that stuff now, and we'll see where we're at in the video. I also did a few things in this dinosaur world, and they will benefit both us and me, especially in the future. Now, mainly just because I was ignorant, your boy ended up generating like 3,000 chunks. times 3000. So your boy did a bunch of chunks. And what it ended up doing is creating a giant file size for my PC. And the last thing I want to do is this thing get over its file size and exploding. But also, I'm pretty sure it rendering all those chunks is taking a toll on my PC as well, also affecting the frames. So I have decided to delete a bunch of chunks. If we were to press M, these are the stuff that have been kept. The nether dimension is still the same. The end is still the same. Well, I hope the end is the same. Okay, yeah, so my stuff is still there, so that's fine. The nether is still the same. The end is still the same. The only thing that has changed is the overworld. So as you can see, this is the main area that we've been working with. This has all been, everything that's black now, because beforehand you saw how much it was, has been deleted. So this chunk has all been deleted. I've kept this because this is where one of the portals is. This is our spawn. This is where we spawned at. I think I spawned over here somewhere. Actually, I think it's literally right here. We gotta make some thing for that. Everything else was deleted. This was kept because this looks cool, but everything else was deleted. So in a future episode, I'll go explore that and may do it in my own time. But let's get on to this enclosure. All right, with everything else out the way and the forest pretty much almost being done, let's start doing this enclosure. Now I've already started doing it in a creative world, but I didn't like how it looked. So we're kind of just gonna eyeball it here. But the gist of it is it will go down a little bit, so they don't have to jump out. Mainly just because I don't want to have an actual like enclosure, like a zoomed out, like the Triceratops enclosure. So it's just gonna be this part over here where the walkway is gonna be all natural, and then eventually we'll have just a natural. This right here will be a man-made barrier by us, so you can actually look over. It will be the stone, brick, and glass, and then eventually we'll have the natural barrier on the back. So that's what we'll be doing. So we're just gonna put blocks into here, and I think I want to keep it spaced out at least 2. This right here can get replaced. We'll do 2. We'll do 2 right here. Actually, do 3 right here. 1, 2. Actually, I don't think we can do it that way. We'll do it this way, and then we'll have it that way. So we'll just have the outline of the actual beginning part. Like I said, this is where the glass will go. So the idea I've gotten is, obviously, as I mentioned, we're going to do it this way. This will be a little bit down, but what we could do is add a moat. So it's like a little bit of water, kind of what we did with the Dilophosaurus, but then increase it by 1. Maybe down 1 more and do the 2 panes of glass right here, actually. So it'd be 2 panes, 2 panes. So it wouldn't look like we're looking into it because the 2 panes would be right here. I think that would look good. Also, I just went around with the multi-tool and dug everything down. So I'm gonna get the outside correct, and then we'll come back. All right, I know it's nighttime in this world, but look at the beautiful view of the actual forest. Obviously, like I said, I was gonna go in and do all the lighting for the pathways. I think it's a little bit too much. I might space them out. I don't know. I'll do that further down, see how I like it. So what we're gonna do is go up by 2 bars. There are only a few, just for me and you. As you can see, don't hit the snooze. And now I'm just doing an outline for the river that I want to add in here. I did the andesite because it was the block that I had in my inventory, and also it shows up easier on the map. As you can see, we have it curved in, and I'll have the water connect to the moat, so it makes a little bit more sense. Dude, I kid you not. It's been consistently raining for like the past few days. I want to record in the sunlight. Alright, it finally stopped raining. So, this is the schematic that I will be using for the trees inside this enclosure. I think I'm also going to randomly skirt these trees around as well. So, break up just the consistent trees. Everything kind of matching. So, we have this. This is the small tree schematic. And I believe, if we go down here, we have a small bush. Let's see what this bush is. Oh, shoot, it's a bush. All right, day 1435. As you can see, I've done the river because I realized that we need to put the tree in before we do the river. Correction, we needed to put the river in before we put the tree in. Then I realized we needed to put the texture in before we put the trees in. So the trees are all that is left. So we're gonna put a tree over there. Then we get another tree. There you go. All right. So, got all the trees in. Now we need to fix up this area. Perhaps I have an idea. With all the wood that we've already made, I can simply go over here. Make a little resting area. And there we go. Actually, no, we'll keep it that way. It's whatever. In order to spice things up, we'll put some regular leaves in here. Around here. We'll do a bush over here. Put a bush right here. Put a bush over here. This side will be the lavish side. This area is pretty much empty. We gotta fix that. Is it on fill still? It is. Oh, too much. That's too much. And the rest of our bone meal. Mink, mink, mink. Make sure we're getting no berry bushes because I'm not trying to get little babies killed. And there we go. This is the enclosure. I think it looks pretty snazzy. Now we'll get the B-roll shots. And as you can see, the enclosure is now finished. The moment of truth is adding the two creatures that we'll be putting in here. Now, I will initially start off with the moose just to see how they look. Then eventually I will put the Megaloceros in here because they're basically just giant mooses. But depending on how I really want to do this, I might just have it to where it's only the Megaloceros in this enclosure. So I really don't know, but let's go find out. And while we're here, we might as well get the Megaloceros started. So they're up here, and we officially have 6. So we're gonna make 3. I think 3 is a good enough number, mainly just because we have 3 mooses. So, honey, where'd he go? Never grabbed him. Think. Da-da-da-da. Oh. So we're gonna put these in here. Technically, this is my first time ever seeing these guys. I know what they look like, but this is my first time ever actually creating them in any world. But it's pretty cool. And it's kind of a change of events. You know, we've been pretty much having dinosaurs, amphibians. There's another word, Sarkasukians, or Circusukians, Somethingsukians. But first, we'll put the moose in. Then we'll put the other moose. Then we'll pet the other moose. Now what does it look like? Oop, they're already enjoying the enclosure. Alright. Now we have 3 Megaloceros embryos. Our first embryo of this park. But the real moment of truth is, can we actually let the moose be the parent? Let's find out. No, it doesn't work. I don't meta mode. Alright, we need horses. Mr. Ship! Oh, Mr. Pig! What you doing down here? Yo, it's dark down here, bees. Boop. I'll free you from this pit of doom. Pig! Yoink. Don't have a campfire. Don't die on me, pig. Yes, do the spinnies. Big brain, big brain. We do need our Dinopedia. Oh. We're gonna do them one at a time. What was that noise? Who just bloped? Perfect. Now we just wait. Those guys are duking it over there, Mr. Pig. That's Mrs. Pig, you and your wife. Don't explain to me how you're pregnant. You just built different, Mr. Pig. Oh, they're going at it. It seems like the moose on the left is at a really hard standstill. The moose on the right does not know what he's doing, but he's got the high ground. Oop, but he's losing. How is this possible? That Star Wars movie's not meant anything to you. Oop, and he's gaining his footing, but he's still losing. Oop, they're still at it. And it seems like they've done a draw. Oop, they're at it again. These guys like fighting each other. How are you, Mr. Sheep? Halfway there? Understandable. I don't know how much of this song I have in. I'm probably gonna have that moose part and that's it. Remember editing me. I'm not looking the right way, but I'm looking at you. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh, we're almost there. The moment of truth, people. Will it pop out a dude? Or a woman? You're about to be a father, Mr. Pig. Brace yourself. Hopefully there's nothing nasty that comes out. This is a PG-13's channel. Oh my goodness! Your baby's the size of you! Oh my god. And it's a dude. Do you eat seeds? You do. Perfect. Eat up, little one. We have a bunch. Am I your father? I am also your father. Alright, you sleep over there. I think, yeah. Mr. Sheep! We're almost there too. Do you see the newcomers? They're like little babies. They're like little baby. Oh. Hey bro, get your beat out of my face, bro. I smack the I gotta add some entertaining content into this episode. It's been nothing but trees. Alright, you're at 80. How about you, Miss Pig? Miss Pig is at 60. You know your husband. Let's have a child. Hopefully I get a female from one of these two. And then we'll have one stay a baby. Forever. Mr. Sheep. I mean, yeah, Mr. Sheep. There's so many Mr. and Mrs. And it's not just because, like, I don't know why I'm doing a Mr. I call it Mr. Mansley, Mr. Mansley. It could be a Poe Place thing, but I don't know. Is he gonna rule the world? The moment of truth. Oh. It's almost the same size as you. And you're a dude. I bet you love me too. You love me too. Here you go. You're full now. You may go to sleep. Miss Pig is next. Miss Pig, you need to get us a female. Blockhead, Miss Pig. They're still duking it out over there. It's time for bed. These little nerds will probably stay here. If anything, I might build like a little outhouse so they can stay over there because I don't want them in the enclosure. I know I'm calling them Miss and Mr. Sheep and all this stuff, but if lightning were to strike these nerds and kill them, your boy wouldn't care. Oh. Gave birth. Please be a female. Yes, Miss Sheep. You know what? They'll live. Eat up, little one. Eat up, eat up, eat up. Oh my god, they're eating while their eyes are closed. Alright, we need to bring them all together for a good thumbnail. You, come over here. You, come over here. Oh, you're looking the wrong way. You're still looking the wrong way. We need that nerd to turn. Move! And that's the thumbnail, people. And that'll actually be it for the rest of this episode. Thank you so much for staying with me for these random, I would say, boring episodes. They're not boring to me because your boy's making them, but it was a struggle. Because at some point, the reason why I was missing those dates of the Friday release was because I was doing the forest, and this takes a lot of time. And as I mentioned in the past, your boy has work, so your boy doesn't want to come home and do another grind. So maybe I need to start spanning my things out, and maybe I need to take a new aspect of things. But with that being said, I gotta edit this video, so don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Give me 3 names. We need 2 dudes and a girl. Like, subscribe for more content like this. I hope to see you in the future. Oh my god, he's running! And have a majestic day.